My head hurts. I'm not feeling this today. Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Jess. I woke up this morning like congested, my eyes are puffy, my head hurts. I don't know why, but we're gonna work through it. All right, so if you could tell by the title of the book, I'm asking, should I give these books a second chance? So when I read a book, as many of you do, I sometimes don't like it and I DNF it, or do not finish the book. And there's like two categories. I either DNF it forever, I'm like, this is garbage, this is not for me, hate it, never want to read it again. Or I'm like, I'm gonna put it to the side. Sometimes I go back to them, sometimes I don't. So today I have a stack of books that I've done that to, where I've been like, maybe it's not the right time. Sometimes it isn't, or sometimes it's really not for me. And I'm basically needing your help, your thoughts, opinions, to let me know if I should just DNF these forever or if I should give them a second chance. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. I just want to remind you to vote. The final round of the Shaded Choice Awards is going on right now. It's shadedchoiceawards.com. It's also linked in the description below, so make sure you vote. Oh, also, bookshop.org is having free shipping throughout this weekend, I think until Monday. And bookshop.org is basically a website where you can buy books brand new, but through independent bookstores. It's a great resource, and I am an affiliate. I do have a link in the description below, so if you do use that link, I would get a small commission, but don't feel bad if you don't. Just want to let you know that is an option. But let's go ahead and get into these books. Also, the majority of these books I have read and DNF'd within the last year. A couple of them maybe a year or two before that, but for the most part, these are relatively recent reads. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first one I have is The Blade Itself, and I'm kind of cheating because I'm 85% sure that I am going to give this one another try. It's by Joe Abercrombie, and it is the first in the First Law trilogy. So it's a grimdark book. I don't know much of it beyond that. However, when I did read it, which was like last July, I had just heard great things about it. I haven't read anything by Joe Abercrombie, and I just was not in the mood for it. It felt slow, and I really didn't know where the story was going. I feel like I maybe read 100 pages, and I was like, I returned it to the library. However, since then, I've heard a lot of booktubers talk about Joe Abercrombie and talk about his character work, and I'm really realizing that I'm definitely a character-driven person, and maybe I just wasn't in the space for that story because it was around the time I was moving, so things were hectic. So I think I'm going to give that one another try. But if you want to give me any encouragement to read it, I will take it. It's definitely, I'm thinking at the beginning of next year that I would like to get into, and I really want to read them and like them because there's a really pretty edition that I probably put up here, and I want those editions because they're pretty. I'm just being honest. The next one is Dune, which is a science fiction classic by Frank Herbert, I believe. I read, so last year, pre-COVID, I checked it out from the library here, like a physical book. And I was so determined to read it, and I was reading it, and I found myself having to read sentences over again, or like having to go back and start the paragraph over again, and I was like, it was just a really slow start, and it felt really, really dense. I don't know how far I got, and then I had to return it to the library, and I was like, and then COVID happened. So it seems like a book I do need the physical copy, and I don't have the physical copy, and I don't really want to get a library book right now. It kind of makes me nervous. I don't even know if they're doing that here, but, and then there's, again, the really pretty edition that I really want. But I told myself I have to read it and like love the story first before I get it because it's kind of expensive. I don't know. If you've read it, let me know. I've seen mixed reviews on Dunes. My friend Danny loves it. Like, she has a bunch of copies. She's reread it. And then I've heard things about it. So if you've read it, definitely let me know. Give me some encouragement if you have any. Or if you don't think it's worth it, also tell me that. Okay, and then the last one that I don't own is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I think I'm going off memory here. This is science fiction, fantasy, I believe. And all I got about it was lesbian necromancers in space, I think. And I started it in ebook version, and there were just so many characters, and character names where I think in the physical copy there was like a list of characters, because I'm pretty sure I saw it in the ebook, but it just wasn't convenient to flip back and forth. And it was like, I was like, I think I need a physical book of this just so I can keep it all straight. But again, I've heard things about it. Then I've heard that like, people love it. And then the second book is out, Harrow the Ninth, or Harrow somebody. So I don't know. I see it and I'm like, I want to be in that team of necromancers in space or something. I don't know. I always feel like I'm missing out. But I just think about it because it definitely wasn't a hard DNF where I'm like, hate it. I just was like, I think this might be better written in physical form. Then I was like, I'll wait for the paperback, and then I don't know. Anyway, let me know. If I'm getting sick, I'm gonna be pissed. First up, I've got Never Let Me Go by Kazu Ishiguro. I hope I'm saying that right. So this is, I think this is like, is it dystopian? Science fiction-ish? Kind of like these kids who go to a boarding school or something? I don't know. I know I saw the movie a long time ago and I really liked it, but I don't remember it that well. So I was like, I should read the book. And I know so many people praise this book. Look, it won a Booker Prize in 2005. And I started it and it just was strange and I just wasn't in the mood. I feel like this might have been 2 years ago and I still haven't picked it back up. Like I'll look at it and I'm like, ooh, not today. So, I mean, it's not that long. It's not even 300 pages, but yeah, I just look at it and I'm like, and I feel like I really do need to read this one. So if you've read it, let me know. All right, now this one's gonna take a lot of convincing, but I still have it, so I figured I'd put it in this video. And it is Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. So this is the second in the All Souls trilogy. The first is, what is it? A Discovery of Witches. So I read that, I think last year as well. And I did enjoy it. I think I gave it like a 3.5. It's way too long. They're like 500 pages, relatively small print. It's very slow. And it really, if you've heard people talk about Discovery of Witches, some people, it is really like an adult version of Twilight, but like a little bit better because the main characters are Diana, she's a witch, and but she doesn't use her powers. And then there's Matthew, who's a vampire, and of course, they fall in love. So I did enjoy the story, but I think Deborah has the same thing that Diana Gabaldon has or does. That's the author of Outlander, where she just gets too caught up in descriptions, where it's like, okay, yes, this is a beautiful setting, and yes, they're drinking beautiful wine and eating wonderful foods, and that's great for you to explain it the first time. But every time they take a sip of wine, I do not need a play-by-play of the color of the Merlot and how it went down his throat. And like, okay, it was just very wordy. In places I felt it was very unnecessary, and it took me a while to get through. So then I still did like it, so I got the second one. I'm so sorry, Curtis. I got the second one, and I don't even know where I got to this. It just was taking me forever. I switched to the audio, and I still just felt like a snooze fest. So these are fantasy, like I would call it a historical fantasy romance. Can I say that? I just said it. And when I was just listening to it, I was like, is this a textbook? Because she does a lot of research, because they do, ooh, maybe that's a spoiler. Anyway, she does a lot of research for the time and the places that she has the story set in, so I will give her credit for that. But I'm like, this also is supposed to be, you know, a fiction story that's supposed to be entertaining. And at times it just felt really dense, like a slog, like I was reading a more entertaining textbook. I don't know. I did watch the first season of the show. I thought it was okay. I don't love the actress. I don't love the actress for, what's her name? Deborah? Claire? Diana. I don't love the actress for Diana. And I thought the actor for Matthew could have been hotter. That's just me. Anyway, I don't know. If you really love this book, I mean, I'll hear you out, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. I also don't even have the third book, so, you know? All right, now this one always makes me feel bad that I didn't finish it, and it's Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. So many people love this book, like puts it in their favorite, this trilogy, their favorite of all times. Like, So I borrowed Red Sister from the library, I think last year, and then someone said that the hardcover was out of print, which happens with adult fantasy very often, and so I couldn't find it. Then I went on somewhere and I found this hardcover. I'm like, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Ordered it, played myself. By the time it got there, I was like, I'm kind of bored, and I DNF'd it. But I keep hearing such amazing things about the story and how it develops the magic system, the characters. I have read another Mark Lawrence book, Something of Fools, maybe, one of his older series. I hated it. The main character was like the 16-year-old dude, but he was like the fucking worst. And I have no issue with grimdark. I freaking love grimdark. I love brutality, but he was just an asshole, and I hated it. So I didn't continue in that series. So I was trying to give him a second try with this one, and I maybe got like 100 pages in. Granted, all of these I don't think I read that far, because if I get to like halfway through a book, it's rare that I'm gonna DNF it. I'm like, okay, I might as well finish, unless it's really pissing me off. So anyway, I know people are a fan. I want to be a fan. So maybe I should give it another go? Let me know. Whoo, Chile. Now, I have 2 copies of this book. I had 3, I got rid of one. It is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. Now, if you've watched my videos, including my latest vlog, then you know my feelings. I have a weird relationship with V.E. Schwab. My first book I read by her was Vicious, which is the book before this one. I loved it so much. It definitely is one of her older works, and I thought it was supposed to be a standalone. However, this came out because, you know, publishers are greedy, and I was like hyped about it because I loved Vicious. So Vengeful does follow some of the same characters from Vicious, but then it also introduces a female main character, and I wasn't loving her. I think I read another 125 pages of this, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I was so hyped too, because I got like the Owl Crate box, which I rarely do, and then I hunted down these beautiful editions from Illumicrate. Is this from Illumicrate? I think it was from Illumicrate. No. Wait, this is the regular UK edition, I think, and then this one was from Illumicrate, which someone so kindly gifted to me. Now we know what my feelings on Illumicrate. Anyway, I have these beautiful editions of these books. I gave away the Owl Crate one because it was ugly, but I'm just like, I'm not getting rid of them because they're beautiful. And then I have a Vicious that matches this one, but I'm like, should I give it another try? Because I recently read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab, and I loved it. So I don't know how to feel. I feel like people were kind of split on Vengeful. Some people felt like me and felt like it wasn't necessary, and then some people really loved it. But then I have heard that there's supposed to be a third one, and I'm just like, so I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I've got Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is a chunky adult science fiction. I think it is a first contact with aliens. The last remnants of the human race left a dying Earth, desperate to find a new home. Following their ancestors' star maps, they discover the greatest treasure of the past age, a world terraformed and prepared for human life. But all is not right in this new Eden. The planet is not waiting for them, pristine and unoccupied. New masters have turned it from a refuge into mankind's worst nightmare. So there's big ass sentient spiders in this book, as well as humans. Again, was one I got on ebook, and I just was like, I don't know, does that make sense to anyone? Sometimes I feel like I can't read a book on ebook or audio. Certain things I need a physical book to really understand and enjoy it, and this one felt like that. So this is less of a I wasn't enjoying it to I really feel like I need a physical copy, and I got this recently, so yeah, I'm hoping it's less needing convincing, but if you have read it, I would love to hear your thoughts, because I've heard great things about this, and I've been wanting to read more science fiction in general, especially hard science fiction. Sometimes I do feel like I'm too dumb for hard science fiction, but I'm gonna try this one again. I think hopefully I can understand it and enjoy it. Okay, so Lifelike by J. Kristoff. I have read a lot of J. Kristoff work, and I enjoy especially Illuminae and Nevernight and God's Grave, not the last one. And then I do like the Aurora Rising series, not as much as like Illuminae. So this is another science fiction series by J. Kristoff. And he definitely has a particular writing style, and he loves to make up slang for his characters, which in those other books has been fine for me. But when I started this one, it was a lot. It was just like right off the bat, there's some wonky ass words, and I was like, oh, look, I got one tab. I don't even know how far I got in this, but I got one tab here. And I think this is like robots, like fighting robots. I really can't remember what it's about. I think it's like robots and fighting robots, but like smart robots. I really don't know, but I don't know if you just get used to the slang or if it's weird. I've heard mixed things again about lifelike. I feel like the overwhelming people that I've seen haven't loved it, and there's been a little that have, so I don't know. I think the trilogy is finished now. I only have this one though, so I don't know. And lastly, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I got this used copy and I have started it. I think I've talked about this before, that I tried to read this, and I tried to read the audio. She narrates it. It's a crime. It should be a crime. Her voice is just disgusting. Then I got the physical copy and I got a little bit into it. Then I tried the audio again and it expired my hold from the library. So I really just want to finish this so I can have receipts when people claim this is like the epitome, the pinnacle of dark academia, and this is a masterful work. I really just want to have the receipts to say it's not, because what I've read so far, it's not. And it's just pretentious and dry. And I think that Donna is an overrated author. I do not want to read anything else by her. I just want to finish this so I can say I did it and I can comment. Because I love the idea of dark academia, but the books that are considered dark academia for the most part I do not enjoy, because they're all very bland. They're white kids in a prestigious boarding school or college in the Northeast, like New England, and they're all terrible, enriched and spoiled, and something happens like a murder, and I'm over that. I want to see that narrative, I want to see the subgenre of dark academia explored outside of those really beige lines. And so I just want to read this so I can understand what people are saying, or like understand the book that people keep referencing and what's considered like the definition of dark academia. I myself am trying to write a book, a mystery subgenre dark academia, and I just want to do better than this and make it obviously more diverse than this. So I just want to finish this one. Does it get better? Like, the first 100 pages are a chore, and all of it. I have no problem with an unlikable character, a gray character, but all these people are just trash. Like, I hate them, so that just makes it hard to read. But anyway, if any of these books you have any commentary on, please comment below whether that is good or bad. You don't think I should read it, or you definitely think I should give it a second try. Definitely let me know. I'll link them all below. Again, please vote in the Shaded Choice Awards. Check out bookshop.org because they have free shipping this weekend. And if you do, you could use my affiliate link. And yeah, wash your mask, wear your mask, wash your hands, stay hydrated, stay moisturized, wear your sunscreen. And I'll see you in my next one.